Without a doubt, this era of running shoe tech that we're in right now is absolutely crazy. As runners, we have access to tech in midsole engineering, geometries, and foams, and especially foams, that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, that are absolutely outstanding. In fact, foams specifically, we are running on foams now from the most basic of daily trainers all the way up to the top tier super shoe or race shoe that even 10 years ago would have been considered unthinkable, the performance characteristics of these foams. And one of the most important performance characteristics to these new foams that we're running in is what I call Legsavingsness. The amount that a foam in a shoe allows you to recover after or between runs. Can you go out and do a long run and be ready to do a workout the next day, or do a workout and the next day be able to do anything more than just a recovery run? Well, foams and their Legsavingsness go a long way to helping achieve that. What I thought I'd do in this video is sit down and talk about how I evaluate that and help you be able to look at foams to find what's working right for you. And by the way, stick around to the end of the video. I'll talk about it more there. When we're talking about super foams and super shoes right now, we're generally focused on the energy return, the resiliency or the propulsiveness of those shoes. How much faster can these shoes make you as a runner? Well, ultimately, super shoes and the foams in them don't actually make you faster. The engineering and the geometries and the plate dynamics, those help give more resilience and more energy return to the shoe, which has a way of making you faster. But ultimately, super shoes and super foams actually allow you to run faster for longer. They allow you to hit those paces and stay at those paces much longer than traditional foams and geometries that we were dealing with 10 or 15 years ago. And that ability to run faster longer, which again, I think we've all benefited from no matter what type of shoe you're running in, is an aspect of recovery. As I said in the upfront, can you go out and do a long run and then be ready for a workout the next day, or do a workout and be ready for anything more than just a recovery run shuffle the next day? 10, 15 years ago, if you're going to do that in race flats with standard EVA foams, you were going to be pretty beat up in either one of those instances. But nowadays, you can go out in even some basic daily trainers and be very fresh for the next day. And that's really this Legsavingsness of these foams that we all have access to as runners. And it's absolutely outstanding right now. As an older masters runner, the recovery aspects or the Legsavingsness of the running shoes that I'm running in, especially the foams that I'm running in, is vital, which is why I'm going to be spending a lot more time talking about that on this channel. Now, this is something that I've known for quite some time, but it's become really of mind and really kind of forefront in my mind over the past, I would say, 6 to 8 months, where I've really focused in on paying attention to what shoes I'm running in, both just easy running and workouts, and really trying to analyze how do my legs feel after that workout or that shoe or that foam, and really looking at it to, okay, why am I coming back to certain foams, certain shoes? Are they helping me recover? Are they not helping me recover? Is that why I avoid them? And I sat down and finally mapped that stuff out on a 2x2 and began to really analyze it. And that's what I hope is going to help you do the exact same exercise for yourself. So if I'm going to build a 2x2, this is how I look at it. On the x-axis, we have brutal to gentle. And this is really what I mean by Legsavingsness. How harsh or how easy, nice is a shoe, or especially a foam, to your legs and feet. On the y-axis, I'm going to do speed. How slow to fast is it? And when I begin to map foams out on here, it becomes really telling what I'm responding to and really why I'm responding to it. And if I start with race foams or super foams, and these are the foams that I generally have spent the most time in over the past 12 to 18 months, and in some cases much longer for a few of these foams, this is where they fall on this 2x2. And as you can see, ZoomX, the PBAX version of ZoomX, the one that we see in the Vaporfly, the Alphafly, the Streakfly 2, is above and beyond the gold standard for Legsavingsness for me. It is very fast and it is very gentle on my feet. It just feels wonderful, and I've known this for years. I know that I recover extremely well from ZoomX foam. But surprising, the new Lightstrike Pro, the 2025 formula, the new one that's in the Adios Pro 4 and the Adios 9, is also quite good. I get a lot of great Legsavingsness in it. It's nearly as fast as Zoom X is for me, but I'm definitely recovering very well. And another one that's a surprise to me is Nike Air Zoom. Now, this isn't technically a foam, but it is a cushioning technology, and it is in a lot of their race shoes, particularly the Alpha Fly. That is one that I also respond quite well to as far as Legsavingsness. It's not the fastest cushioning technology for me, but it definitely does save my legs really well. On the flip side of this, Asics's FF Turbo to me has always been the most brutal foam that I could think of. It was a foam that if I went and did any type of run, but especially a hard workout in, my legs felt trashed for days, 2 to 3 days at least. I was barely walking the day after a hard workout in FF Turbo. FF Turbo Plus has gotten much better. It's also much faster, but it's still pretty brutal. But it's fast enough that the brutalness, the harshness of it to my legs may be worth it for certain instances, certain key workouts, or a race here or there where I know I'm going to have to recover a day or two after anyway. Other foams on here would be Saucony's Power Run HG and Power Run PB. Not necessarily top tier super foams anymore. They've both been replaced by some other foams by Saucony, which I haven't really run in. But I actually really like Power Run HG, but it's kind of really in the middle for me. It's not the fastest, it's not necessarily slow, but it's kind of right in the middle. Power Run PB was never fast for me, but because it was PBEX based, it was fairly gentle for me. The older Lightstrike Pro, classic as I call it, is pretty good, but I am finding that I respond much better to the new Lightstrike Pro. And Puma's Nitro Elite is kind of right there with the older Lightstrike Pro Classic. Really, it's fast, but it's kind of right in the middle. And if we take this same 2x2 and put training foams on here, you can see that predominantly training foams are on the lower end of this. They're generally on the slower side, which you would expect. They're not top tier super foams. But there are a few standouts and surprises here to me. Namely, Atreyu's new Cush foam is very, very good on my legs. So the Legsavingsness is extremely high. I'm finding it very fast, but I'm also finding that I recover very nicely from it. It's just an all-around great training foam. I'm really impressed with this foam. Nike's Zoom X, what I'm labeling here is TPEE variant. This is that other Zoom X that we've known about, the one that's in the Peg Plus, the Invincible, the other more what I've called rubberized Zoom X foam. This one is still very fast for me, but it's not quite as good as the PBEX variant that we find in the Vaporfly, Alphafly, and Streakfly now. Some other surprises in here would be Hoka's Supercritical EVAs. The one that is mainly in the Hoka Mach 6 is a foam that I respond to very well. It's not the fastest foam out there, but for a training foam, that's totally fine. Another key baseline here would be Nike React X. I just find that works very well for the Legsavingsness. It's very gentle on my feet and legs, but it's also sort of in the middle. It's fast enough when I need to pick it up, but it's also slow enough where it works for just general recovery and easy running. Another standout here would be Adidas's Dreamstrike Plus. I love this foam. It is not fast, but it doesn't need to be. It's very gentle and it's just an optimal easy run foam. A foam that really beats my legs up though in a training context is Adidas Lightstrike 2.0, or just what they call now Lightstrike foam. This is just a standard EVA foam from Adidas, but it is very harsh on my legs. In fact, any shoe that has it in that, I generally do feel very beat up. And this is something I've noticed really in the past 6 months since I've not been running really in any Adidas shoe that does have Lightstrike 2.0 in it. I've really noticed a difference in this. Brooks's DNA Flash Foam is something that really beats me up. This is something I realized in my recent Brooks Launch 11 review. Really do not respond to this. However, I do like Brooks DNA Loft Foams, whichever version of it. I find them fairly slow, but again, they're for easy running. They work very well. Nike Cushlon is really sort of in the middle. Again, it's slow, but it's, again, a middle baseline for me. And Asics's new FF Blast Max, I actually find very nice. It's kind of on par with Nike React X for me in training contexts. If I take all of these foams and put them together on this 2x2, it becomes very overwhelming. There's a lot going on here. But I think if you pause this and really look at this and begin to analyze on this same 2x2, how you respond to these foams, how you respond to other foams that maybe I'm not covering here, you can put your own 2x2 together. Generally speaking, you want to be in the upper right-hand quadrant of this 2x2, the green square. Generally, that's going to be the more gentle or higher leg savingsness. And if you're looking for more performance, you're going to go on the faster end of that. If you're looking for more recovery, you're going to go on sort of the lower end of that. And the segment that you want to avoid is the red quadrant. You just want to avoid that red square. Those are the foams that are really going to beat you up. The ones on the upper left will also beat you up, but they may be worth it. And in the case of FF Turbo Plus, it is kind of worth it to me sometimes. So if I narrow this down to really the foams that I find I prefer, this is what I get. And if I get even more concise to the foams I've been running in really over the past 2 to 3 months as I really honed in on the leg savingsness for me, these are the foams that I come to. Nike Zoom X, both variants, Atreyu's Cush Foam, Lightstrike Pro 2025 formula, and the baseline would be Nike React X. These are my top leg savingsness foams for both the gentleness and overall leg savingsness, but also performance overall for racing and training for myself. Now, when talking about leg savingsness, I'm predominantly focused on the foams specifically, but a lot of other factors go into that. Stability of the shoe, the plate dynamics, how stiff the plate is, how soft the plate is, how much medial, lateral support there may or may not be. All of these things factor into the overall leg savingsness of a shoe, which is why I'm not necessarily talking about shoes in this video. I'm really just focused on those foams, because the foams are really the core of what I'm talking about when I'm referencing leg savingsness. So take this 2x2, go analyze the foams that you run in, the shoes that you really respond to, the foams in the shoes that really work for you or that you feel fresh in the next day after a long run or a workout, and put your own 2x2 together and see what's really working for you. Because there's a ton of value here in really zoning in and focusing in on those specific foams that you know you can depend on run after run after run. And oh yeah, this merch. I'm finally doing merch on this channel after numerous people have emailed me or DM'd me and asked, do I have hats or t-shirts or stickers or something like that? Now I do. If you go to sagasurunning.com or follow the banner that's below this video or the link in the description, you'll find what I'm offering as far as merch. And it's going to be pretty basic. I'm going to keep it very simple, but some basic elements that allow you to support this channel in a non-subscription basis. Because I know we don't need more subscriptions. Specifically to this shirt, the Leg Savingsness shirt, this is what I'm going to call my Series 1. Now my series merch will be limited edition items. They will only be around for a few months. Specifically the Leg Savingsness, this is going to go away on August 31st, 2025. After that, it will never come back. I'll move on to a Series 2 at some point this fall. There'll be a new theme. So if you're interested in this or you're interested in supporting the channel on a more ad hoc basis, because again, we don't all need more subscriptions, go check out the merch, buy a shirt, buy a mug, and support this channel and help me do everything that I do on this channel. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you find this content useful, consider subscribing. You'll see more content from me pop up in your feed. If not, drop a like on this video because it helps this channel continue to grow, which I always appreciate. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.